All right, let's see how well I can highlight this. But we've switched over to mask making because everybody's making masks now. So what I've got is just your basic mask pattern. This is actually one that was provided by Tony Bernier. Dimensions. This is your basic rectangle, and it is, what, 9 inches by 6 inches. Couldn't be simpler. So you cut out your pattern, 2 pieces, 9 by 6, and where we're at right now is I have stitched them together. I stitched them right sides together, left a gap, turned it, and then put another stitch around the perimeter. When they're right sides together, you take a 7-inch piece of elastic and put it in the corners, and that is actually enough that when it's pinned into the corners with a little clamp, one clamp on each corner, it keeps it from getting stitched into the edges. So when it's right sides facing together, you can just zip all the way around, leave yourself a gap about 1.5 inches wide to pull it through. And we've done that, and then we've stitched around the perimeter. Now everybody's doing the traditional hospital-style pleats where you take and do the triple folds like that, and they stack together all fancy looking. I have found that trying to get that to look right is time-consuming and hard to get consistent, and I found a neat trick that is a hell of a lot faster and a hell of a lot easier. I use these little alligator clamps. I got like 1,000 of them on Wish for like $1. But it seems like everybody's got a couple of these kicking around. So I'll figure out which side's going to be the top. And this one, we'll say that this is the top. Honey, I'm recording a video. Guys, I'm recording a video. Please be quiet. So we'll start up here. We'll take 2 of them for reference from the top edge and put 2 there. And then we're going to gather up a pleat and fold it. Let's say that this is going to be the front with the red sides here of the clamps facing up. So we'll take a pleat and we'll fold it over the front of itself. And as far as the measurement goes, take a 3rd one, or if you only have 2, you can pull one from the leading edge here and bring it over here. And I aim to have it, the width, have that pleat be just a touch over the width of my clamp on the front and on the back. So it's just a tiny little bit. And now we're going to do the same thing. We'll gather up a second pleat, but instead of trying to stack them all fancy like, we're just going to do another one going the opposite direction like this with the same dimensions of just over 1 clamp in width. So just like that, you can see now that we've got a bubble on the top that's going to take up that edge when you put it over your face. And this has been working really well for me. Now we can take it to the machine, and let's see how well we can position this. Come on. Well, we can position it. I don't have a way to hold the camera here, but we'll position it like that, and then we'll just do another stitch line across. Pull the clamps as we go. Sometimes I find that I got to use a seam ripper to help feed everything under the foot and keep it together as we go. But I'll do 1 stitch down. So I'll take and do 1 stitch down, put it in reverse, go back over it again, and then over it a 3rd time. So it's got 3 layers of stitching over that pleat, and then it's done. It's super quick, super easy, and it works super good. So I'm gonna go ahead and stitch it. Like I said, I've got no way to hold this so you can see exactly what's going on, but let me throw a stitch on this and then you can see what it's gonna look like when she's done. Yeah, that's gonna work. So I've pulled the clamps, stitch. We'll feed it through. Come on, come on, come on. Work, 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 work. Very good. Pop it into reverse. And of course, without two hands, it's not going to want to go. But we'll do it reverse the hard way. Feed it through, do a quick back stitch. And then, come on. And now you can see we've got a short tab and a longer tab. Short tab goes up on the nose side, so this would be the top of your piece, but then you've got your pleat on the side without having to fumble around to make a bunch of 3 consecutive pleats. It's just 2, and they're measured by the clamps that you're using to hold them together in the first place.